Oh, my goodness. Suki, you're amazing. Look, there you are. There you are.
Everybody in there.
That's not the all right. Okay, we're already recording, so we gotta. Yeah. No, but I think we ought to keep it with the hour. Yeah.
Turn that thing off there.
They're constitutionally. Now if, if Cabot became a pre-K through 8 or Danville or even Peach was a pre-K 6, if they became pre-K through 8s, then all join them. And all of them in their 6th, 7th, 8th grades, they have 20 kids.
It appears we're live.
They need to get those kids to go to bigger middle school. Which Danville. I think Danville, the Danville's a big as well. Okay.
So welcome, everybody. It is 6:06. Let's call the meeting to order. We have a relatively easy agenda tonight. At least I hope it turns out to be that way. The first matter is a letter we received this morning from Select Board Member Will Jones. I'm going to read it to you. To the clerk of the town of Waterford, I am writing to give you notice of my resignation as a member of the Select Board of and all official appointed positions within the town of Waterford, effective Monday, July 13th at 12 p.m. Sincerely, William Stewart Jones. The clerk has received this letter and forwarded to me. Mr. Jones has also sent a very similar email to the board this morning as well. In accordance with general accepted practices, I acknowledge receipt of Mr. Jones' resignation and accept his resignation. Speaking on behalf of the board, we appreciate Mr. Jones stepping up to the position. It's a lot of work. He shared a lot of good ideas, and I believe I'm speaking for the board when I say we wish him the best in whatever his next endeavors are in the world. So, any board comments about that or additions? Okay. It is a surprise. Following that, the clerk, Deb Benoit, is prepared to issue a notice consistent with 24 VSA 9 section 963 to announce the vacancy so that we can have interested members of the community note their potential interest to be appointed by the select board. This person who would be appointed would serve until a town election is had. Presumably that would be town meeting in March. If the citizens want faster action, they can petition, get a signatures of 5% of the town population to have an earlier town meeting to actually vote to replace the select board member vacancy. And the notice that will be posted presumably this evening or tomorrow at the latest will explain all of that. But that just catches us up on media select board matters. I'm under the understanding that Wade Cochran is with his wife in the hospital having shoulder surgery. I think it was a reasonably scheduled surgery, but he is there and not here tonight. I'm not sure whether he will be appearing in any manner for executive session or anything else. So having said that, comments, questions so far? All right. Modifications to the agenda. Sean, do you have any modifications? None? Kathy, you?
No.
All right. agenda?
Yeah.
This is what I-
Now.
Okay, well, I'm happy to share with you.
No, I got it.
You're still good, no modifications? Okay. The next is select board housekeeping. I asked to have that put onto the agenda. And I have a letter that's a little more than a page. I'm going to read it. It should take about 5 minutes, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I'm going to read it in full. And at the end, I would welcome comments or pushback or whatever folks need, but I would ask that I'm going to get through this without interruption. So I'm going to begin. Dear Town of Waterford, it is my intention and hope that this statement generates a productive conversation in the town and within the select board. I continue to assert that the duty of each select board member is to act in the best interest of the town of Waterford. Yet when board circumstances have been challenging lately, I feel I've lost sight of this imperative in one important metric. The time has arrived in which I take stock of aspects of my performance on the select board. Since the beginning of the 2026-2027 select board term, I have observed some select board members' poor conduct and public statements involving a private citizen and town office staff based upon personal opinions and not facts. I not only strongly disagreed with what I observed, but I also knew it was objectionable and corrosive to the town's best interests. Despite this, I remained silent. In hindsight, I know the reasons why I failed to speak up. In my mind, I rationalized that staying silent was the lesser of evils in order to manage and maintain a semblance of board cohesion, friendly collaboration, and/or board productivity. In short, this was wrong. It appears that I have traded the town's best interest for appeasement of board members and have done so to preserve the appearance of peace and productivity. Worse, not only was I wrong, but my failure to speak up came at the cost of normalizing incidents of poor board conduct and normalizing the poor public example it sets. I now rise to highlight 2 points. Number one, statements made by individual select board members should be factually based, well-considered, even-tempered, and made only to advance the best interests of the town. This is a statutory duty imposed upon all select board members, acting as a unified body under Vermont law. Select board member, this is number 2. Select board member comments attacking or maligning any citizen and town resident do nothing to advance the town's best interests. Worse, it is corrosive to town interests, does damage to the credibility of the select board, and is an appalling reflection upon the proponents of such words. Specifically, in February 2026, the select board sought to resolve challenging matters with the road foreman. Maria Dantos was asked to assist. She volunteered, free of charge, to do so, involving a considerable amount of her time. On this point, I must be clear. I am disappointed and shocked that now, 5 months after the mediation, some of my board colleagues continue to attack and malign the work of Ms. Dantos. Ms. Dantos is a private citizen and resident of Waterford, similar to every other resident of Waterford. And yet, inexplicably, she alone, as a single woman, continues to draw public rebuke and condemnation for her work on behalf of the town by members of this select board. Ms. Dantos, I apologize for not speaking up sooner to address an evident wrong committed by the town of Waterford Select Board. I apologize for failing to use my select board member voice to defend you as a private resident of the community. As a select board member, I acknowledge your rights, including your right to be left alone. I will never again remain silent in the face of such objectionable board member conduct. I also thank you for your volunteered efforts to attempt a resolution of our employee challenge. As to the town office staff, I am grateful for your training, your expertise, and skill you bring to your professional tasks. Thank you for your work on behalf of Waterford. I urge my select board colleagues to consider offering their own conciliatory words and words of thanks. Thank you for your listening and consideration. Yours very truly, Timothy B. Yarrow, Select Board Member. That's the end of my statement. I would ask that the board, without objection, allow my letter to be posted with the minutes for today's meeting.
Motion.
Well, I don't know.
I agree, it should be posted with the minutes.
John, do you have any objection to the?
Nope, it's on the owl.
It is, but I would like them associated for research later if anybody wants them. So you have no objection? Okay, then I'm going to ask the board administrator to post the minutes. I'm sorry, post my letter with the minutes. Thank you for that. Does anybody want to make a comment or offer a rebuttal or tell me I'm all wrong?
I think you did good. Another thing I think is, after last week's meeting, Sean, I think you owe an apology to the town employees for saying that they were untrained. You have some very highly trained employees, over 20+ experience in accounting, and to say that they were untrained in their position, they may not have been trained as treasurer, but they had accounting experience.
I didn't say they were untrained. I said that they took the job for it. They were appointed. And I don't know what kind of training they had.
I believe, I'd have to go back and listen to the meeting, but I'm pretty sure you said they were
But Marcel,
untrained.
if I hurt your feelings, I humbly apologize. Heather and Deb, if I hurt your feelings, I humbly apologize.
I think there may be a lot more to say about that. I'm not sure I want to dive into it right now, but if Sean, you want to have a conversation about it right now, this isn't the worst time.
I'm good.
Sean, can I just ask you a question? We're doing stuff for housekeeping, correct?
Still, correct.
Have you taken the ethics training or the open meeting or the select board training at all?
I had not done that.
The ethics training is supposed to be taken within 120 days that you accept the position as working for the town or being on the town. So it actually should have been taken last year when you had a planning board. So I highly recommend that you do them as soon as possible. If there's webs out there, the videos are on the VLCT, but you've been on the board since March, and I highly suggest that these be done to be compliant.
Maria?
I think it's more than I suggest you do it. Mr. Halsey clearly needs training in ethics and what he can and can't say. And is there a consequence? He has failed in his duty to take the course in the time.
I don't know of any consequences to respond to that. I can't speak right now.
Well, can he at least be directed to schedule his training to the next session?
Well, that raises an interesting question because Mr. Halsey is publicly elected official. He does and acts and speaks on his own steam. I think the board can recommend that he so take his training, and I would be happy to make that recommendation, but I don't think he can be directed by any member of this board. So Mr. Halsey, to be clear, I highly recommend that you get your training in order and do it quickly. I don't want to disparage you here in public, but please do it.
Do we want to have a back and forth like that?
I'm not opening that door. I would suggest that
The LTC
training
website
is
says
useful.
that certain officers, including select board members, must complete a state ethics commission approved training to the statewide code of ethics. New members must complete this within 100 days of taking the office, but up above it says that anybody that's elected or appointed, it's a requirement that they take it within 120 days. It doesn't say what the consequences are, but that's what the VLCT website says. And the open meeting law is also a requirement.
Thank you very much.
On to your question, whether I want to have them back and forth. I don't feel there's anything in my background, my history, my conduct anywhere on this board or in the past that I would be ashamed of, other than what I've talked about today. And I'm not joining your invitation to open that door simply because it's not on the agenda. It's not useful or productive to the town today, and I'm not opening that door. So that's
So
where
let's
I'm at.
move on with our business.
I want to be clear about where I'm coming from. Okay, approval of the June 29, 2026 minutes. Can I have a motion to approve?
I make the motion that the minutes be approved.
Okay, Kathy moves. Sean, do you want a second?
No, you can.
I'll second. Any further discussion of the minutes from June 29? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Motion to approve the June 22, 2026 minutes. Can I have?
So moved.
Sean moves,
I'll second.
Kathy seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the June 22nd, 2026 minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, here the ayes have it. The ayes do have it. All right, road commissioner update. Ron is currently en route back to Vermont from out of state travels, but he sent a road commissioner report, recent activity, and I'll just read it into the record. This is the road commissioner's report, July 13, 2026. Recent work: graded Madbrook, Old County Road South, and others. Installed stop sign at Madbrook, Vermont 18 intersection. Hauled and stockpiled crushed gravel. The road commissioner asked Jim to supply the load count and calculated quantity to the treasurer. She informed me as of this morning that she hasn't received those quantity counts yet.
For 10,575 yards. That's Jim's looker count.
Okay, that doesn't agree with what we got a bill for today. Okay.
75 loads at how much?
Can
15
I
yards?
finish?
Yep.
Then there's an invoice, to my understanding, from Manchester Brooks Materials for 9,995 yards. Charged for crushing.
900 what?
9,995 yards charged for crushing in the invoice. It's my understanding from the road foreman that the difference in the number was they usually crush a little bit more in case, for over or under. If you need clarification on that, you can feel free to ask.
And that should be turned into the treasurer.
I don't have any problem. That's
Okay, so we're just barely shy of 10,000 yards, but good. Okay, thanks for the update, Sean.
the luck.
Work to be accomplished in the next month. Unplugging culvert by Grimes on Old County Road North. Beavers have plugged the culvert. This is taking place today. Grading and spreading gravel. begin work on paved section of Cross Road. The pavement will be excavated, the road undercut where there is poor material that is causing the settling, backfilled with quality material, and then paved. Grant work. Selecting highest priority areas and calculating quantities to send to Vermont Agency of Transportation, the AOT, for final approval. The grant is for approximately $24,000 and the work needs to be completed by September 30th. And then roadside mowing. So finally, work to be accomplished before winter, replacement of culvert on Daniels Farm Road. Daryl Matthews is the contractor. Work is scheduled to begin in August. The last word I received is that we are still waiting on the easement to be signed by one of the landowners. And I'll add to that I was in touch by email with Attorney Murphy, who was working on the easements, and I haven't heard back. Last I did hear, the final easement holder was out of the country traveling. That was as of a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what the state status of that is at this point. And then finally, winter preparation, hauling winter sand. So he's got another notation here. The commissioner said, I have contacted VAOT to see if they are willing to perform a gradation test on our crushed gravel so that we can determine its quality. And that's what I have. Any comments or not that I could answer them, I don't believe. Thoughts, additions?
Is the phone bill on your agenda? Because
No,
I have a copy of that as well. But I was supposed to.
that goes to the treasurer, I presume. We don't have to do anything with it.
Mr. Chairman,
I have a question, Mike.
Hang on a second. You want to go ahead?
Well,
Dave had his hand up, but
go ahead and
Select board member.
then I'll talk back to you.
I was just curious, so you mentioned winter sand there. Are we hauling our own from somewhere, or are we still dealing with Yang on that, or,
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
okay? For
How
another
else
time.
they started hauling again. So that's one of the things that they have to do before winter. is what-
I'll make a question to that.
I guess I have
Go ahead.
a question as to why, did he just give you those today or did he give them to you last Thursday? When you and Wade had your meeting?
He gave me the phone bill when we had the meeting. And he gave me those numbers today.
Okay, well, Heather had asked for the phone bill to be in her office last week. And he was gonna drop it off, according to his email.
And I can't speak for him.
Well, I,
It actually was given to Wade. He gave it to me and said, bring it along to the meeting. So there it is.
All right,
okay. I'll have to deal with it, but it's not the way it's supposed to be done.
this is completely roundabout and I object to this. Actually, Sean, I'm gonna give it back to you. You can see that the head treasurer gets it. I don't want to be the go-between. It's not the job of the select board. Any other comments here?
No,
Yeah, what about hired? We have an open position.
That's not on the agenda. Any other comments? Road commissioner update.
no,
Road commissioner job description is next.
I like the way that you put the wording in it. But I mean, you did your edit, making it the liaison. I,
Do you have a hard copy of that?
I do. And it reads, the road commissioner is a liaison between the select board and the highway department foreman. The role requires the road commissioner to function as the go-between facilitator and communicator between the select board and the road foreman. The road commissioner reviews and then we have inspects, surveys,
Yeah, that-
whichever word is better, I like reviews. Oversees,
Some of that might need to actually come out. I think the stuff in the
I think,
hotel sizes.
commissioner reviews the maintenance and condition of the town's roads.
Yeah.
And related to infrastructure under the direction of the select board, ensuring they are safe and meet applicable standards. Road coordinates maintenance work, manage projects and contractors or crews, response to roadway issues and supports budgeting, records and compliance. And you put in the road commissioner must communicate and provide feedback regularly with the select board about the objectives and the tasks upon which they are acting in their capacity as road commissioner. So that was the purpose and discussion.
And I felt that was the most important to get right so that the rest of the comments, rest of the job description was well oriented to the overall purpose.
And that everything else was okay.
I thought so.
I think it's okay. I mean, Deb and I worked on it. And the physical requirements, I think they should stay there. Walking, standing, sitting, bending, squatting, reaching, twisting, kneeling, climbing and out of vehicles, pulling, repetitive motion, walking, uneven surfaces, sitting for extended periods.
Mhm.
So I think it's good the way it is now, because it acts as a liaison. Do you like it? Are you in agreement?
I'm not in agreement with it, but it's written okay.
You did read it?
Okay.
What would you change if you're not in
I
agreement?
don't want to change anything. I'm not in agreement with the way that the road commissioner thing was set up. And I'm gonna stick to that. And for that reason, I'm not gonna vote for the job description.
The road commissioner was decided months ago.
I didn't vote for it, remember?
It doesn't matter. It's a unitary board. Once the board votes and decides, then that's the board action, and that's what we have, and that's what you will follow.
That doesn't mean I have to vote for the job description.
We'll have to table it tonight because we don't have an opinion.
That's true. But what's your objection with the wording in the job
I
description?
don't have any objections to the wording. I have an objection with the way the road commissioner was appointed and that we didn't really go by the townsfolk the way they had set the program up to begin.
Well, we might not have agreed with the way we did it, but we have a job description. So I think it's your responsibility as a board member to vote whether you approve how the job description is, whether you approve of the road commissioner or not.
I didn't approve.
I understand that, but this is a job description.
I'm not gonna approve now. So you'll have to wait till you get some more votes.
Table it.
We will table it, but Sean, I want to point out that we followed the law to the letter in the process. It was different than some historical memories raised in front of this board, but it was fully in compliance with the law, and I don't quite hear the factual basis for your objection to the process. It's just you disagree with the outcome, it seems like, and that's now settled history.
Not coming along for the next.
With all due respect, you are along for the ride.
Not gonna vote with you. We can move on to the next subject. And there'll become some more people.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that in the future. The next item was an audio update and discussion. That was Will's item, and that had to do with how we use the OWL for recording and live streaming the meetings, and I think it will also apply to other department elected officials in their meetings, zoning administration, perhaps the library trustee meetings and the like.
The planning and DRB will be using it.
Planning and
I think the cemetery might use it now.
Okay. So we'll make sure that they have the knowledge to get on board as well.
If they're back up a little bit.
Okay. Relatively short agenda. So that brings us to citizens' concerns. We have sort of a process that's been approved a couple of years ago regarding citizen comments. Generally, it involves reasonable time limits. Let me ask, how many citizens are hoping to make comments this evening? I see one, two so far. Is there a third? A fourth? Mr. Beck?
No.
Are you just here because we're an interesting place to hang
No,
out?
I'm just here to listen. and
Okay,
Watch you struggle with your owl.
appreciate your assistance earlier. Okay, so we have two comments, citizens' concerns, and you know, it doesn't sound like we're gonna be crunched on time, but I'd still ask that you be reasonably concise and to the point. And in all cases, let's keep the comments cordial and courteous. Dave.
At the last meeting that I attended, which might not have been your last meeting, on the way out, I was talking about that doorway there. So I did have conversation with the fire chief, and I was thinking about the second exit for one thing. And Colin says we're fine as long as we don't have over 49 people in the room, which even on our busy nights, I don't think we've had that many. So I'm gonna continue to follow up issues about that door with the librarian and the trustees. My objection to it, it's a Dutch door, it locks by the upper lock, which isn't working right. So they put two padlocks on the inside lock, which makes that totally inoperative as an emergency exit. All they need to do is unlock the locks and have them hanging there, and it could be used. But I'm gonna discuss this all with them whenever I don't think they have a July meeting, but I'll catch up with them eventually.
Okay, well, first of all, I appreciate you looking into that, but secondly, are you chasing a problem that doesn't need a solution?
Well, a door ought to work. Right now, the door isn't even closed weather tight. If you go on the outside and look at it, or if you just stick your finger there, it's not closed right. I've had a lot of experience with this building just because of family history, mom and dad being librarians, and I think it's an easy fix, Tim. It's just, I was kind of taken aback that they would put a lock on the inside and lock it. But I will follow up on it. Thank you.
Okay, I'll look forward to your feedback on it. Just as an FYI, if that were to occur, use the door actively or potentially for a fire exit. It would seem you'll have to work with the librarian to figure out a different place for the refrigerator.
Good. I'm only thinking of emergencies.
Thank you. Let's see, other comments? Clem, did you have your hand up?
Well, I just wondered, but I haven't heard anything more about where you're at on the garage.
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted.
That hasn't been
I'm sorry, that was
for a
the
long
piece of
time.
notes, but I meant to add that.
So I spoke with the Stanson this week. We went to the town garage, she took some more measurements. And within 2 weeks, towards the end of the month, we shall have a full report from him in regards to the feasibility study. And where he thinks, suggests that we can,
2 weeks, Sean?
roughly.
You do. On that note, the treasurer indicated we had received one bill so far. I think for $1,400. I forgot the itemization, but I signed it on behalf of the board because those funds had already been approved. So this is just part of the ministerial process. But the point is that if the monthly billing continues as slow as if that money to go to waste, the treasurer has said if we don't spend the money, she will assign it to the fire department to pay off one of their loans. Which is a not bad solution, but then that leaves our budget in a bit of a hole. So anyway, question is, do you expect billing is going to be picking up based on work that you see, the workflow that you see coming down the pike?
If you're asking me to be the liaison and to talk to them about the billing, I can certainly speak with them and let him know that if he's gonna be looking for the $12,500, that he should bill that sooner than later so that he can get paid. And then I think the other piece of the puzzle was Marcel said we were gonna need money for an attorney for the bonding board. And I don't know how about who the attorney would be or how to get a bill for you on that.
Marcel, if we do need to seek an attorney for bonding, is that a James Murphy matter, or do we have to go somewhere else for legal counsel?
Vermont Bond Bank has list of attorneys you have to use. But we're not there yet because I don't have any money. I don't know how much money we're gonna need, so I can't go to Vermont Bond Bank until I get a dollar figure.
Yeah, how far out do you see that based on the board getting a report at the end of this month, give or take?
Then I get hold of bond bank and we start the process.
So the receipt of the E.H. Danson report kickstarts that process?
Yep.
Very good.
I gotta know how much money we're gonna need before I can go to bond bank.
All right. So anything else on the subject of the town garage?
So basically, Steve Dotson. The previous on the board, got off the board, I agreed to work on the town garage remodel project, which was encompassing to fix that whole roof system. And so that whole report that I wrote up probably should be included in the feasibility study and given to the engineers that are working.
It was.
Okay, I just want to make sure that happens. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sue, for your previous work on the town garage as well. Appreciate it. Any other comments about town garage, concerns, questions? All right. Sean, are you good for town garage for the time being?
Yeah, fine.
That's it.
Thanks for asking.
Absolutely my pleasure. All right, agenda items for next meeting. What do we have?
I think we should put an ad in the newspaper in regards to a person that can drive an 18-speed standard CDI license and try to get ourselves a road crew person.
So you want to discuss a third person hire for the road crew?
Yes, please.
Deb had some items and I can't recall them right now. Kathy, I thought you had just mentioned a couple of items.
Well, we gotta put, the road commissioner's job description.
Since we brought up the gravel tonight, we should probably eventually have a discussion about the gravel pit.
We're doing that in executive session tonight.
Right.
And for the town's information, the reason for executive session on the gravel pit is contractual matter. So we'll have to keep that a little bit close to the vest.
I would be interested in hearing from the town treasurer or assistant treasurer if the funds that they were talking about investing have been invested in the new account that was supposed to provide 4.2% interest.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, are you planning a 27th meeting or is this August?
No, I believe this is for the 27th.
Band concerts, Colin. Thank you for your service, everybody.
Thanks, Dave. Good to see you. Okay, town garage, ad for newspaper, road crew hire discussion. Road commissioner job description. Town assistant, town treasurer, investment update.
I don't know if it has to go on the agenda, but the vacant board seat and how we would
Oh, yeah, we have to do
move
that.
forward to fill that.
with the posting, I'm not clear if there's a wait period of time that we must wait, but the state law says we have to post within 10 days of the vacancy. If we post tomorrow, we'll have been within 24 hours of the vacancy.
I think we should make that, we should have come up under the meeting, but we should have it posted. And then,
Deb's already doing that. Like I said, it's a ministerial action. It's not doesn't require a board action. Okay. So we discussing potential board appointment. Unless the town organizes a petition for a town meeting to vote on a new select board member.
Can I
Okay,
inquire why you don't have a forum with the three of you?
um,
I'm
beg pardon?
referring to the job description.
because if we vote 2-0, I guess we could do that.
It's a 4-1.
2-1. You're right. That is, I was thinking of the board. I'm sorry, Maria. You are correct. So we could.
no, actually, Maria, I don't believe that is correct. A board quorum is 3, and any action taken by the board, to my understanding, still has to be by a majority of the seated board or the board seats available. If we have 3 members here today and one of our members doesn't vote in favor, it's a 2-1 vote, and that's not a majority vote of the board. That's my understanding of how this works.
Okay.
Believe me, I would like to get an action today, but I don't see that under these circumstances. Any other thoughts about that?
Well, I was more in line with Maria, because when we only have 4 board members, we vote and make decisions at 4-0.
Yeah.
4-3.
You have a majority in that case still.
The majority,
We are
the
a majority,
majority,
3 of us are a majority.
isn't the majority that you require to take action on a matter. Not the end result doesn't have to be 3-0. It's
Right.
never, that would be an enormous burden.
You are right.
That it's a quorum, 3 out of 5 that allows you to take an action.
Right. So we could do that.
I mean, you do what you want,
Well,
I believe that's how quorums operate.
You're right.
I'm not convinced that is correct. But I would be happy to take a vote on the public record and make that pending further research on proper board quorum. I would use my computer, but it's otherwise indisposed right now. I'll do a quick search too.
You go ahead and take them.
See you, Clem. Thanks for coming.
Maybe you can get out of it better than I can.
A proper board quorum defaults to a simple majority of the total number of authorized seats on the board. This means that vacant seats and excused absences still count towards the overall total when determining the minimum number of members required to conduct official business.
Sounds like my argument.
So if a board has 7 authorized positions, a quorum is 4, even a quorum is 4 members, even if there are currently 2 vacant seats. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And that was my position.
But hope, make sure your windows are up, it's not your rain.
Okay. Okay,
Is that the way you understand it, Kathy?
that's how I would read it. Did you understand that, Maria? Do you read it like that?
No. I read it that you need 3 people, since you have a 5 board,
Correct.
You need 3 people to conduct business.
3 is a quorum.
If you do not have a quorum, you cannot conduct business.
Okay,
You can conduct business, that means you vote.
Right.
And the rules on voting is the majority of the quorum wins
votes,
the vote.
okay,
According to what Kathy is citing here, it sounds like the vote would still be dependent upon the authorized.
no, that would still be 3 members is the quorum. If a board has 7 authorized positions, we'd have 5. So if we had 7, the quorum is 4, we have 5, the quorum would be 3, even if there are currently 2 vacant seats. So the quorum is 3.
And it doesn't make sense, you're, no offense, but you're arguing that the only time if you have 3 and that's a quorum, the only time an action can happen is if all 3 of you agree. That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But that's still the majority of the authorized number of board members.
But we're still a authorized member, majority of the board.
Research it, do whatever you want, I would be curious to know the answer.
Proper board quorum defaults to a simple majority of the total number of the authorized seats on the board. So we're a quorum, there's 3 of us, so we can go.
But you're continuing to assert that a vote that turns out to be 2 to 1 would be a proper majority vote, even though we're 2 board members short today,
Right. Each of that is one.
where I get stuck. And I've understood differently. If folks want to vote, I'm happy to do that. I have a feeling we're gonna need to redo this again in the future, though.
I asked the question because it didn't make sense, but
I,
I think it requires some research, you have to do it the right way. No harm in waiting.
We've been kicking this can down the road for a bit. I think we could probably wait another 2 weeks to get some information on this, though. How do you feel about that? Okay, Maria, thank you for your input.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Do you need any help with the?
No, I think I can figure out how that's gonna go. Thank you, Suki. Good night. All right, I think,
See you guys.
To
Your executive session.
executive
good to see you, Scott.
All right, take care.
session to discuss the
Contractual matters and personnel matters.
Okay.
Possible actions to file. So, all in favor of going into executive session for personnel and contractual matters, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it at 6:53. Well, good lord. Motion and second.
So moved.
Sean moves. Kathy, second. I'll second. Jim seconds. Now, all in favor of going into executive session for personnel and contractual matters, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Kathy, I presume you're an aye.
Aye.
Okay, here's the ayes have it, and the ayes do have it. All right, and now it is 6:53.
So is there a way to pause this? It says end stream. I wonder if we can just pause and come back to it. Let's see.
Cameron, are you starting this? Put it here, down the bottom right corner, so like that, go canceling the speaker meeting out for as shown in the screen. Ending the stream. When you are ready to end your stream, click End Stream button in the top right and follow all subsequent prompts.
Yeah, except we're not really ready to end the stream. We just want to stop the live stream and then come back to it, but we may have to just do the action to log back in. All right, I'm going to click end stream and follow this through.